Alright, and welcome back to NJPW's 26th G1 Climax Tournament. Day 5, starting off with Bullet Club. Bad Luck Fale is going to be going up against Ishii, I believe it was. Sorry about the delay on getting this one out. Unfortunately, I recorded this all the way through once and accidentally deleted the audio, so if I don't sound as spontaneous and surprised about some things, it's because I have already watched this all the way through once. I am just doing the tournament matches for this one. None of the tag matches looked all that interesting. And the tournament matches looked far more interesting in comparison, so I decided I just wanted to do the tournament matches on this one. And again, Bad Luck Fale shoves the announcer guy just for no particular reason. Just while we're waiting for Ishii to come out, I'll go ahead and talk up some of my own junk that I do to, you know, kind of well support all of the various projects I have, including doing stuff like this. I just released a new game called The Adventure of Fuckface McPussy. It's a comedy RPG, kind of twisty, messed up, all sorts of different kinds of humor, so should be something in it to tickle anyone's funny bone. You can find it. You can, The Adventure of, and just our Acid Heads, The Adventure of, that's ACIDHEDZ, The Adventure of, do a search on that, you should find it. Or just The Adventure of Fuckface, but put asterisks in instead of the UCK. So, F, asterisk, 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 face. And the McPussy part, again, it's MCP, asterisk, 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 for the USSY. Asterisks is 5 of them there, I guess. Asterisk is the star key, 8, shift 8, okay, in case you don't know. Not everybody knows things like that, because unfortunately schools really don't teach that shit the way they used to. Good grief, look at Fale's chest, that match against Marufuji. Fale's chest is just blistered all to hell still, bruised up. That dude really packs a wallop with those chops. Alright, so find my notebook here, try and keep track. Of course, I've already jotted down winners and stuff, so I'm not going to spoil anything for you. I'm just trying to remember exactly what's going on here at this stage. Now, if I remember correctly, Fale's last match was against Marufuji and Fale won, so he's coming off a win, but he lost his first match, so he's 1-1, or 1-0 at this point. Or 1-1. Yeah, 1-1. While Ishii, I believe, is actually coming off of 2 straight losses. He was in a match against Tenzan and lost. And then he was up against Goto and lost. So Fale has 1 win under his belt at this point. Ishii coming off of 2 straight losses. So interesting position for him to be in, especially since Marufuji beat Okada in their first match, and then Fale beat Marufuji, so that has to be good for him. Be in a good place. While Ishii is lost to someone that possibly would be considered, you know, Tenzan, an old-time vet, someone who a lot of people probably nobody was expecting, maybe not nobody, but a lot of people probably weren't expecting him to do as well as he has so far. 2 straight wins. And against a win against Ishii as well, who is pretty damn tough. Fale rope assisted, full weight on the back there, big club and blow, just kind of annoying Ishii a little bit there. Tries to stop him with that knee, takes him down. It's not really what Fale wants people to be doing to him right now. All those bruises and welts, scratches on his chest. Probably not even scratches, that's just where the skin broke from the welts. Exchanging forearms here. See who's gonna get the best of it. Just huge, kind of clotheslines, but just clubbing blows there. Drops Ishii again. So, as I was saying about Ishii, Goto and Tenzan. Now, Goto definitely a threat. I would imagine Ishii didn't consider Tenzan to be a significant threat, proven otherwise. So he's already dropped 2 losses, and the rest of the tournament, you look at the names he's still got to go up against. He's still got to go up against Makabe, who he has beaten, but had trouble defeating him for that never open weight title. They warred over it for a while, and Makabe got the best of it in the most matches. You got Marufuji, who managed to beat the world champ that he's going to have to face. He's got to go up against Okada himself. Sonata could definitely be considered a threat, having beaten Tanahashi in their first match, in the first match of the tournament for them. And Tanahashi himself, who is always going to be a threat. Losing to Tenzan, of course, and then Tamatanga, who is the only other one that you might say that Ishii probably wouldn't be all that worried about. So it's a pretty stacked block in terms of competition, and so far Ishii has not been coming out on top. He's already, as I said, dropped 2 matches, so he really needs a win here. Obviously, with 6 more matches to go, he's not out of the tournament by any stretch, even if he loses this one. But as far as confidence and momentum, that could be a pretty significant blow. He manages to get the big bad luck Fale over and takes him for a big fall. Of course, Fale, as I said, feather in his cap, beating the guy who was already beaten the champ. So that's got to be good for his confidence. Then losing his first match against Goto, who of course is a threat, a legit threat. But again, same situation as Ishii. He doesn't want to drop another loss this early in the tournament, because for him, some of the stiffest competition is just ahead of him. It's coming with the likes of Okada and Tanahashi and 1, 2 count only. Makabe as well, I think, would be more than capable of defeating Folly. Shotgun forearms there. Gets caught, spiked. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Folly trying to put Ishii away. Gotten most of the offense in on this match. Ishii's been trying to fire back. Folly going for that bad luck fall. And Ishii slips out of it. Just never been a fan of that move. It just seems like way too easy to get out of in terms of a setup. Okay, now that's an opening Ishii needed, but can he take advantage of it? A nice DDT counter right there. Folly's dazed. He landed pretty hard. Still getting up pretty quickly though. Ishii going back to the clotheslines. He's trying to knock the big man off his feet. Hit a nice enziguri, going for another clothesline, and knocks him down. Big clothesline. 1, 2, 2 count only. Going for the sitting clothesline, hits it. Folly close to the ropes. 1, 2. Short 2 count, shortish 2 count. Sweaty. Woo. Goes high to the chest with that headbutt. Looking to get Folly up. Possibly for his brainbuster. He gets him up. Drops him. 1, 2, 3. Ishii gets it. Ishii beats Folly. Picking up that first win that he's been looking for. And desperately needed, I would imagine. Folly drops to 1 and 2. Not ideal for him, as I was saying. A lot of stiff competition still to come for both men. Ishii finally picking up a win. Folly dropping another loss. Alright. Go ahead and wait for the next match to kick off. I guess I can talk about my game a little bit more. Maybe talk about something else. I don't know. But, The Adventure of Fuckface McPussy. As I said, it's a comedy game. I've never been very good at talking about my own stuff, unfortunately. It's like, if I was good at explaining things like that, I would just do it that way, communicate that way instead of making games, I suppose, and writing books and, well, yeah, and making music. It's like we're getting Makabe going up against Marufuji. No, Sonata. I couldn't quite tell who it was. It's Makabe versus Sonata. Now, Sonata won his first match against Tanahashi, lost his last match against Okada. So, significant for him in the fact that you could take the view that the two most difficult matches of the A block are already behind him, and he won one of them. Obviously, he's got a lot more hard competition to come. Makabe definitely gonna be an obstacle to overcome. But Tanahashi, in terms of status, Tanahashi, one of the biggest stars NJPW has seen in the last, I don't know how many years, and Okada, the current world champ, beating Tanahashi, even losing to Okada. As I said, in terms of status, the competition is definitely, I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it. He's already overcome the two guys with the most reputation, I guess is the best way to put it. Or he's already had his matches with them. Beat one, lost to the other. Makabe, 2 wins in a row for him. So he's going to be looking to maintain momentum, while Sonata wants to come back from that loss to Okada. Makabe beating, let's see, Tanahashi in their last match, as well as Tama Tonga in their first match. So Tama Tonga would have to be considered the biggest underdog of the A block, this being his first major foray into singles competition. Tanahashi, again, one of the guys with the biggest reputation in the A block, but also coming back from an injury, which definitely is going to make a difference. Okay, so we get a tie-up, Sonata gets behind. See how this one plays out. Sonata a bit more of a... He's very well rounded in his style, I'd have to say, but maybe a bit more on the technical wrestling side with a little bit of high-flying stuff mixed in. Makabe also extremely well rounded, but prefers the strong style. Though in his match with Tanahashi, he showed that he is still more than capable of matching whatever whoever he's in the ring with, he can match them and even outdo them if necessary. Well, it's always necessary to outdo them, but he can if he needs to, depending on the situation. I'd have to say in this matchup here, in terms of what they've got going into this, Makabe, definitely the veteran, see it right there, just caught him going for that big leapfrog he likes to use. Makabe sends him flying. Makabe definitely has the experience at edge. I'd have to say he's probably also got the strength edge. He looks like he's got bigger muscles. Sonata's more toned, but I think Makabe's bigger overall. I'd have to give the edge to Makabe in terms of sheer toughness. Possibly even in simple malice, meanness. Because he's more than happy to get nasty with you and will just beat the crap out of you. Sonata has speed and youth on his side, as far as I know. Heck, they're, you know, Japanese people don't show age as quickly as Westerners tend to, at least that we can see. That could just be that we're used to seeing specific indicators of age, and perhaps Asian people show those indicators in different ways, so perhaps they can usually tell about how old someone is, and it's us that look strange and ageless or ancient all the time to them. I don't know. Kind of rambly there. It's not important. I think Sonata's younger is the point. But you can't always tell just by looking at people. Lifestyle plays a big part of that, of course. Again, doesn't really matter. Sonata has managed to get control here. He used the rope to kind of jostle the junk, as it were. Used that to get an advantage. Out of the members of Los Ingobernables, I'd say Sonata probably cheats the least out of all of them. But maybe coming off of that loss, he felt he needed a bit of an edge here. Maybe because he's already come to the same conclusion that I have analyzing this matchup, and that Makabe really has all the advantages. And so he needed to get an equalizer, and he took the one that he saw. A bit of a sleep, more of a sleeper now. It's kind of just a headlock. I think he's transitioned into a sleeper. Makabe doing a bit of the old school Hulk up. Sonata switches arms and locks it in tight. Makabe trying to fight out of it, but gets down. Sonata trying to get him. 1, 2, only 2 count. Didn't hold it in quite long enough, maybe. Didn't have it tight enough. Looked pretty damn tight, though. Makabe's a little bit irritated, egging him on. Bit of the old, "Thank you, sir, may I have another?" Or just hit me, bitch. Is that all you got? Oh, what the hell's outside beeping? Some van. Big clothesline right there. Makabe firmly in control, appears to be. Hitting the punches in the corner. And that picture perfect Northern Lights that he likes to use. 1, 2. Always found that to be an interesting kind of juxtaposition with Makabe is that he'll pull a picture-perfect Northern Lights like that, but spends most of his matches just beating the crap out of people. Leapfrog, leapfrog, jump kick, hit. And off comes the shirt so he can show off his pecs to the audience. He needs to stop screwing around. Big flying elbow in the corner. Kind of looking for that flapjack cutter maybe. Well, off the shoulder cutter. Let's change it forearms again. It's probably going to go Makabe's way if they keep this up. Again, he has just had all those wars with Ishii. He is used to taking this from stronger people. Meaner people. Sonata hits an uppercut there. That might have been just enough. Nope. Takes a big clothesline. Makabe can't get the pin though. A little staggered. Looking for a powerbomb maybe. Looks like it's Sonata fighting out of it. Looking for maybe a clothesline of his own, but Makabe just nailed him with another one. Now goes back, hits the big power bomb, keeps it locked up. Two count only. Sonata catches him, hits the big cutter with the shoulder. Going for the pin there. 1, 2. Only 2 count. Makabe just rolls up. Didn't really kick out, just rolled up one arm. And that's Sonata's fault. If he could have applied more pressure to the upper body, keep Makabe down, he could have had it. Makabe definitely looking dazed now. There. Fights out of the reverse guillotine attempt. That's what Sonata likes to use as a finisher. Again, excellent suplex, but only a 2 count. Picture perfect German. Suplex. Makabe probably looking for that spider suplex, trying to get him up on the turnbuckle for it. Sonata gets out of that, hits a nice enziguri. Makabe stumbles back. Can he respond? Gets the boot up. Flip over and drop kick. Sonata is kind of standing over Makabe there. Makabe definitely looks weakened, looks dazed. Sonata wasting time looking for the reverse guillotine. Makabe gets around, takes him up, brainbuster. But cannot capitalize. He needs to get up. He's moving. He needs to get over there. Ooh, big clothesline right in the corner to the back of the head. Gets him up, no trouble that time. Looking for that spider suplex and not holding on for dear life here. Spider suplex is belly to back, off the top, with the feet hooked in. Uses that as a setup for that big knee and hits it. Sonata rolling around. Oh, and there's Makabe with a big knee. Gonna get to 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And yes, we do. Makabe 3-0. Sonata drops 1-2. Makabe's got to be feeling good after that. Well, maybe not physically, but mentally speaking, going 3-0, that's a good place to be in a tournament, definitely. Still 6 more matches to go, so gotta hope that he didn't throw himself into these matches so hard that he's hurt his chances of success going forward. That's one of the big things about a tournament, is you have to leave it in the ring, because you got to win the matches. But at the same time, if you get yourself hurt, if you throw yourself into it so hard that you exhaust yourself and can't recover, you're going to hurt your chances moving forward. And of course, they do get a kind of an off day, even when the days are back to back. They do get a kind of a light work day, and that there are occasional off days in the schedule, but you still have to pace yourself. So Makabe's still looking good, he's still looking strong, but 6 more matches to go. And that's the question, can he keep it up? Can any of them in the end? Of course, they're going to finish the tournament barring injury, of course, but just how strong are they going to be able to stay throughout? That's always the big question. It only takes one bad landing, one minor injury, some bruised ribs, a tweaked knee, twisted ankle, something that you can recover from easily enough, but when you're in a tournament, that can make a huge difference. Okay, so now we got Marufuji coming out, and he's going to be going up against Tenzan. Tenzan also coming into this 2-0, doing very well. It's nice to see the veteran doing so well in the tournament so far. See how he copes with Marufuji here. Marufuji coming off a loss to Bad Luck Fale, but beat the world champ Okada. So mentally, I would have to say probably in a pretty good place still, having beaten the world champ. That's always gonna be a huge confidence booster. Fale, probably not the kind of opponent that Marufuji is used to encountering on a regular basis. Maybe he's never been in the ring with somebody that size before. Hard to say. So, you can always make the argument that Fale was always going to be a rough matchup for Marufuji, to, a rough obstacle to overcome, and just because he didn't overcome it really doesn't reflect on him badly, because he definitely put a good showing in. I can guarantee you this, by the end of the tournament, every single person is going to have, except Marufuji, is going to have bruises and welts on their chest because of Marufuji. Here comes the veteran, Tenzan. Got a lot to prove in this one, I think. Tenzan starting to get a bit up there in years. This could be his last chance to prove himself, to prove that he still has it, that he can still go out to the ring night in, night out and give it his all. Chris talked about this before through other shows. After that one company here in the States poached a bunch of talent off of NJPW, all the veterans kind of had to step up their game. It's not that they were being lazy, just that, you know, younger stars were getting most of the limelight, most of the attention, so they didn't really have to push as hard as they used to when they were the ones leading the way with the banner, so to speak. And after all that talent got poached, some of the big names, a couple of, well, one really big name for the company, few, or well, one almost as big, two significant names. The vets have kind of had to step back up and pick up some slack there, and they've risen to the occasion very well. Marufuji not even really rocking Tenzan at all. Tenzan just drops him with one nice shoulder tackle there. And matchup wise, you got Marufuji. Kind of gotten a feeling for him in the last couple of matches. Likes to use kicks later in the match, especially if he starts getting in trouble. Really likes using those nasty hard-ass chops to light up the opponent's chest. Really wear him down. 'Cause it'd be like being whipped. The first few times hurts, but every subsequent time he does it, it hurts that much more and just becomes that much worse. To the point that every single blow to the chest is just agony. Sends Tenzan into the guardrail. Little dirty game here, and one of those chops. And he's gonna do it again already. Yep. Going right to those chops. And again. Back in the ring. He likes to use those chops, a lot of kicks, especially later on, as I said. Gonna go for it again and hits him nasty with those chops. Just ruthless. Just blistering the hell out of him. Hurting his own hand. Tenzan is bleeding. Broke the skin doing it. I'd say Marufuji very rounded out as a competitor, but as I said, some of the he likes to use those chops, bit of ground game, bit of the grappling, and not so much of the power game. Hurting himself there. I think he kind of got his elbow tweaked a bit in his match against Okada. It might have gotten aggravated against Fale using that supporter. Tenzan firing back and takes another one of those nasty ass chops. Makes my chest ache every time he does it. Tenzan certainly the edge in experience by a long shot. Interesting, kind of just a headlock, but tying up a leg too. It's almost like an inverted abdominal stretch. Or a side abdominal stretch. I don't know. Interesting little move there. Tenzan probably going to have the edge in sheer toughness, probably in determination, because as I said, he's got a lot to prove here. He wants to prove that it isn't time to be sent out to pasture just yet. Big shoulder block there. It's the bigger of the two, definitely stronger. Mongolian chop. Mongolian chop. Mongolian chop. Mongolian stomp. Mongolian headbutt. Mongolian headbutt. Mongolian stomp. Mongolian whip. Mongolian clothesline. Straight suplex. I'll stop. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Tenzan's chest just tore the fuck up. I guess it's kind of a story of youth against experience. Obviously, Marufuji not a slouch in Noah, but yeah, the younger man versus the veteran. 1, 2, kind of throw away Samoan drop. Has the vice in. Yep. He has it locked in on that bad arm too. Tenzan he's looking to pick him up. He's gonna want to slam him down. Marufuji blocking it, pulling away, gets out of it. Goes for the knee, the big knee there. This is the point in the match where he tends to start pulling out a lot of those kicks. He starts getting in a bit of trouble. Big, huge flying elbow there. Tenzan reverses the web, shoots in, takes another elbow, and a boot. Double kick. Kind of pushing his way forward. Marufuji really going to the kicks and strikes there. Swish. 1, 2. Calling for that I believe it is the sliced bread is what this move is called. It's a kind of a twisting reverse DDT acid drop sort of move. Tenzon, nice backdrop. Probably looking for a headbutt here. If he can hit this, he's got a good chance of walking away with a win. And he hits it. Not pinning right away. Not a very good pin. Marufuji gets the shoulder up. Tenzon should have applied more pressure. A little nonchalant there with that pin. Calling for that scoop pile driver. Sometimes known or also known as a fire thunder driver. Oh, back to those chops. Trading blows here. In this case, Marufuji definitely getting the better of it. Tenzon not hitting him anywhere near his hard back. Big kick. Mongolian chop. Headbutt to the knee. Marufuji going in for a big knee. Got headbutted in the knee. Tenzon has an opening here. Headbutt to the back. Headbutt to the head. You're gonna set him up for the scoop pile driver. Hits it. Rather surprised look on Marufuji's face, but he kicks out. Kind of a oh shit, did that really just happen sort of look. Tenzon looking for that moonsault. And Marufuji moves. A lot of impact on the stomach and chest there. Easily knock the wind out of you. But neither one recovering very quickly from that. Did give Marufuji some breathing space. Hits the big knee. Tenzon drops. Gonna get a 1, 2, 3 here. 1, 2. Only a 2 count. Tenzon going back to those headbutts. Marufuji rocked. Calling for the big clothesline. If he hits this, it's probably over. Marufuji dodges, hits the big kick. Another big knee. Okay, is that enough? 1, 2. No, only a 2 count. Tenzon kicks out. Told you the big man was determined. Sizing him up. If he hits this, Tenzon will be definitely in trouble, and he does. Looking for that. There it is, and floats over into the DDT. 1, 2, 3, and Tenzon's done. Not done. Tenzon takes his first loss. Marufuji picks up a second win. Hard-fought victory. Marufuji comes out on top in the end. Alright, wait for the next match to kick off. I produce music under the name Acid Heads as well, ACIDHEDZ. Mostly electronica stuff. I do a lot of stuff for like Halloween, dance music. I'm interested in all sorts of stuff, so go ahead and check that out. Again, support me doing stuff like this is what you'll be doing if you check it out and buy an album, and of course you enjoy the music, hopefully. Get a copy of my game, get some laughs out of it, hopefully. If you actually have a sense of humor, you should get some laughs out of the game. It's on Game Jolt and Itch.io. Itch.io, I should say. Okay, so we're getting Tamatanga going up against Tanahashi. Interesting dynamic here. A lot more similar styles in this case. Tamatanga so far gone up against Makabe and, let's see. Tenzan, I believe. Yeah. Makabe and Tenzan. And lost both matches. So, could be an interesting matchup here because, again, Tanahashi would have to be considered one of the favorites in the tournament. He did win it last year, after all. Though he is coming off of an injury, and that can make a big difference. First time Tamatonga's really been in a major singles situation. Here comes Tanahashi. I like Tanahashi when he starts getting some attitude. When he starts getting annoyed with people. Little generic otherwise for my taste. Excellent ring work though. That's what you gotta love about NJPW. Doesn't matter what they're like outside of the ring that much, they're always going to be good in the ring. Little cheeky wink at the camera there. Look like. Just a look at the camera maybe. But Tanahashi coming off of 2 losses here. 0-2. Is Tamatanga as well. So, significant match for these guys. Someone is going to get their first win in the tournament here in this match. Someone is going to drop to 0-3. Not the last match, but Makabe going 3-0 in his match, so currently the leader of the pack. Right now, someone is going to drop down to the bottom. Tamatanga, pretty much 2 strong style competitors so far he's gone up against in Makabe and Tenzan. This will be the first time he's going up against somebody that uses a style a bit more like his own. Something he's a bit more familiar with, maybe a little bit more able to match. Seem to kind of struggle with the hard-hitting impact of that strong style. It's tied up here. Going to the hair. Side headlock. Red Shoes admonishing him, and he didn't give a fuck. And there's that attitude that I like to see from Tanahashi. You do something to him, he will do it back to you. That's what well, if it's done correctly, the classic babyface that never, ever, ever, ever cheats, always walks the straight and narrow. When it's really done well and done right, it's fine, but it's one of those really hard roles to play and be interesting doing it. I think it's just the problem that I have with it is that it's not very realistic. Everyone has their opinions and their, their own personality and things. And if you're trying to play that straight-laced babyface, then you kind of have to try to be nice to everyone and act like you agree with everyone. Tama Tonga looking to hang him up on the turnbuckle or the apron, or nope, he goes for the guardrail. So, of course, they don't have a whole lot of the out-of-the-ring stuff in Japan. They focus on the ring work. Again, that's one of the main reasons I like them, and probably why you like them too. Or maybe why you're curious about them, if you're new to NJPW. They don't have a whole lot of the soap opera drama that more or less capitalizes time in the West. Takahashi getting involved, Captain New Japan trying to stop him, but eats the guardrail. But at the same time, I don't like heels that just do heel shit for the sake of doing it, like that right there. Takahashi getting involved just because. And what I mean is that, Takahashi's come out for other matches, and he didn't do anything. He didn't interfere at all. Which is the way I prefer it. I don't like outside interference because it's interference in the match, as far as I'm concerned. It's not really part of the story that's interfering in the story. I like the match to be, the story being told in the match, I like it to be told by the guys in it. If there's going to be cheating involved, it needs to be by them, not somebody that's supposed to just be out there for support. Just kind of one of my feelings about the ring work of pro wrestling, unless it's a manager. Then again, Takahashi is not a manager, he's just out there. And then in one match he won't interfere, and then another one he will. No rhyme or reason to it. So, Tama Tonga going after the arm that was injured. Big headbutt there. Tanahashi into the ropes. Hits a big flying forearm. Getting fired up. could definitely be the chance that he needed. Tama Tonga, looks like he hit pretty hard on that forearm, not replying to this. Rolling senton hits him. I can't see the ref. Big shots to the gut there and head. Uppercuts. Again, this is the Tanahashi I like to see, is when he starts getting some attitude. Tama Tonga using that quickness and maneuverability, that's what he needs to do. Big body splash to the side there. Gets a hold of him, maybe going to go for a Samoan drop here. Nope, Tanahashi wiggles out. Goes back to the strikes. Sends him off the ropes, and Tama Tonga using that maneuverability. Nice head scissor takedown. But gets caught with a leg whip. Tanahashi, I'd say, is the stronger of the two. I think he might be just a bit bigger overall. Certainly the veteran. Far, far, far more singles experience. And against some of the best there are in the ring. And has beaten them. But Tama Tonga has that kind of slippery maneuverability that you can use. He's able to evade and dodge around, and that could really be his main weapon going through this tournament, I think. Getting into the forearm, strong style forearm game here. Exchanging the strikes. Tama Tonga gets the better of it. Tanahashi, you think, just slapped the crap out of him. Gets caught. Gets free again. Gets caught again, and a flapjack onto the arm. 1, 2, only a 2 count. You don't know what happened there. Big twisting neck breaker right there. 1, 2, only a 2 count. Tama Tonga may be looking for that double underhook spike DDT, but Tanahashi reverses it into a rolling neck breaker of his own. Or a spin out neck breaker, whatever you want to call it. Over the years I've heard so many different names for moves, it's hard to remember what's what anymore. Tama Tonga has used the cutter since his buddy from the Bullet Club left for that one company, Sling Blade. 1, 2, only 2 count. This match has been going back and forth, but that could be the opening Tanahashi needs to put Tama Tonga away. Looking for the dragon. Grabs the arms. Capture German. Gets it. 1, 2. Maybe a little bit of overextension there. Tama Tonga able to slip out. Tanahashi almost been using that full Nelson, looking for the Dragon Suplex, probably as a setup to get their arms to drop so he can go for the capture. Tama Tonga gets the knees up, rolls 1, 2, very long 2 count. Tanahashi almost got caught there. Hits the cutter. 1, 2, 3, and Tanahashi drops 3. Wow. That is unexpected. Tanahashi 0 and 3. Tama Tonga picks up his first victory. Very happy, as he ought to be. And he beat Tanahashi. Then, so far, everyone's beat Tanahashi. Alright, waiting for the main event to get here. Can also come check out my website. It's acidbathproductions.biz. Spelled normally, acidbathproductions.biz. The .com is some indie horror movie company that uses Acid Bath Productions, but they do it. Acid Bath is 2 separate words. I use Acid Bath as the same word, and I actually started using it first, before they put anything out or wherever on the scene. So this match, very interesting. A lot of background into this match if you're new to NJPW and you're watching these commentaries and it's helping you get through your introduction to the company. Welcome to both. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. NJPW, best wrestling in the world as far as I'm concerned. So this is Hiroki Goto, who I've been watching in JPW for the last year, since the last G1 tournament. And for most of the last year, Goto was on his own. Now, I haven't really talked about any of the factions, so I'll kind of go into a little bit of that now, again, for anyone who's new. There are really 3 major factions in NJPW, stables. There's the Bullet Club, who you've seen a couple of guys from. There's Chaos, and then there's the newest one, who has just formed within the last year, Los Ingobernables, which has its own story. That Sonata is a member of Los Ingobernables. Now, Goto got a world title shot against Okada, who's in this match against him now, and Goto lost. Now, Goto has had a lot of world title shots and has failed in every single attempt. So he kind of had a personal crisis after losing again to Okada, and that eventuated in Goto joining Okada's Chaos stable. He's not the founding member of the stable. That would be one of the guys that got poached by that American company here in the States. But I believe he is now considered the de facto leader of the group, and Goto joined. And possibly a feeling of if you can't beat him, join him. So right now, he's going to be going up against his own faction leader, but also someone that he really would like to beat, because here's the thing, Okada is the world champ. If he wins the tournament, he gets to choose his own opponent for Wrestle Kingdom, which is the big show of NJPW's year. Personally, I don't think that makes much sense. I've always thought it was a bit odd, because it's one of those, to me it seems like a no-win scenario. Like, pick somebody that could potentially beat you for the title, and you know, if you really want to look good to the crowd, you want to pick a real viable threat, which of course as a competitor isn't really that big a deal, but at the same time nobody wants to lose, so the incentive to pick the guy that everybody wants to see fight you because they're the most likely to beat you isn't necessarily the nicest choice to make. But at the same time, if you pick somebody to fight yourself, you know, that doesn't stand a good chance of beating you, then you look like a punk. So to me, that's really a no-win scenario. But the real thing here is that, of course, Goto wants to win the tournament and get that title shot, but since Okada is in the tournament, anyone who beats him will probably get a title shot, because they beat the champ. May not have been in a title situation, but they did beat him in a singles match, which means they have the potential to beat him again in a title match. So, more often than not, they will, maybe not right away, but eventually they will get a title shot. So if Goto can beat Okada here, he can get a title shot even if he doesn't win the tournament. A little bit of ground action here. Maneuvering. No one really getting the better of it. Goto holding the hold for a little while there. Okada in his match against Marufuji. Marufuji did kind of target the arm. Could be why Okada's got the elbow pad on. Supporter. Goto going after the arm again. Okada could definitely have some damage to that arm that Goto's going to be looking to take advantage of. And of course, going even further than that, Goto 2 wins so far, so he'll be looking to also go 3-0. Good place to be in. And by doing so, he can, like I said, he can get a title shot without actually having to win, which would, you gotta believe in some ways, would take some of that pressure off. Of course, kind of one of the advantages of being the champ in a tournament like this is that Okada is not under as much pressure as everyone else. He doesn't want to look bad, but he doesn't have to win. Is really the key thing there. It's the difference in the drive, the pressure behind him. Okada is the champ. He wants to look good as the champ, but that's a different kind of pressure on him than, say, Goto, who wants to win. The pressure is on him to win. Okada hangs him up, drops him down. Assisted DDT there. Hard impact. Okada just kind of wandering around outside the ring now. Finally gets inside. Goto on the floor, trying to recover. Needs to get in the ring. And does so. Interesting lockup there. Almost like he's trying to clothesline him down in slow motion. Looks a little bit odd. Not sure that that's really designed to try and get him to tap out so much as just force him to use up energy, while Okada, relatively speaking, doesn't have to use up much at all. Slam and splash. Well, senton. Slingshot senton. Okada not looking all that concerned. Not mostly showing irritation there. Snapmare's Goto over, who doesn't quite know what he's up to, and then Okada shooting in with that drop kick there. Okada maybe taking this lightly. He should know better. Goto is more than capable of taking it to him. Of course, has been lacking in his ability to finish a match off. Okada is showing, looks like he's got a huge bruise on his leg there. I'm not sure where that came from. Goto fighting back. They're going to be able to capitalize. Hits him with a big spin kick. Bulldog nails it. Not sure what he was looking for there, but Okada escapes. Misses a clothesline. Does not miss on hitting that backdrop. Can't really see the ref. Again, that's also more pressure on Goto. He wants to prove that he can finish a big match like this. That he can get in there with the champ and win. Just got flapjacked. Flying elbow, DDT, and a kippa. Now going to go for the uppercut and hits it. Again, can't see the ref. Scoop slam. Probably going to go for a big flying elbow here. But Goto gets up. Kind of looked like he was just kind of smiling at him. Going for that kryptonite to the knee. Kryptonite crunch to the knee is what I call it. Goto gets out of it, nails him. Kinda looking like he might be starting to take this a bit more seriously. Goto pushing, trying to get up. First to his feet. Look at the nail Okada in the corner. Okada stops him. Drop kick. Sends Goto all the way to the floor there. Goto of late has been using some new moves that focus basically on spiking his opponent's head onto his own knee in various ways, which is a offense he was not using when he went up against Okada. That could make a difference. Okada looking to do something here. Goes flying crossbody all the way into the seats. Gets him back up in the ring. Just taking his time. Gives him time to rest up, but it also gives Goto time to recover. Another scoop slam. Looking for the elbow again. That's the time. This time he hits it. Wide angle shot. Rainmaker. Look to grab the arm, spin him around, hit the clothesline. Goto fighting out of it. But takes an uppercut. Running ropes. Back and forth. Who's going to hit? Goto nails a clothesline. This takes him face first right onto his knee. Spins him around, looking for that finisher he's been using. Arm drag. Okada avoids it. Goto gets him. Death Valley driver onto the knee. This is that offense I was talking about. This can make all the difference. It's really high impact hits. Okada gets the German, holds on. He likes to use this as a setup for the Rainmaker. Spins him, misses. Goto just drops his head, Okada's head, right onto his knee. It could be the difference maker in this match. It could give Goto the edge that he has been lacking for so long. But can he capitalize? Trading forearms. I have to say, in this particular arena, Goto probably has the edge. Okada definitely more of a old school 90s pro wrestling in his style. Goto, a bit more of the strong style, so definitely gets the better of that exchange. Looking for that big kick. Okada sees it coming, but unable to respond. Goes for that big drop kick that he likes to use. Goto holds the ropes, keeps him from getting it. Sleeper. Possibly going to look to wear him down, then transition into this finisher. It's kind of a reverse DDT onto the knee. Okada powers back. But is that going to be enough? Big clothesline in the corner. Goto taking him to the top. This might be a mistake, or it could win him the match. But can he hit what he's looking for here? Maybe some Death Valley driver from the top. Okada wiggles free. Just carrying Goto. Looks for the Rainmaker again, but takes a headbutt. Goto has a chance here. Okada's stunned. Can he take advantage? Misses the big clothesline. Big drop kick to the back of the head. Too awesome drop kick that Okada calls it. Off the ropes and hits it to the face. Even more elevation and power on that one. Looking for the Rainmaker again. Spins him. Gets caught. Okada counters and hits the tombstone. Goto maybe messing around too long, going for that finisher, and Rainmaker. 1, 2, 3, and that's it. Okada gets the win. He goes up 2-1. Goto drops 2-1. Goto's hope right there maybe of getting that early chance at the title gone. Win streak gone. It's going to be a disappointing match for Goto in a lot of different ways. Okada taking quite a bit of punishment there. So, did not come out of this unscathed by any stretch. Alright, so just one last time here at the end. There's going to be some yakety yak from these guys. Okada. So, to say, check out the game, The Adventure of Fuckface McPussy. It's a funny RPG game. Check it out. It's only $4.99 on Game Jolt or itch.io. And don't forget the asterisks in the UCK and the USSY if you're going to look up the full title, or just Acid Heads, The Adventure of. You should find it. ACIDHEDZ. You can also find my music on YouTube, on my channel, and you can purchase it at sellfi.com/acidheads, same spelling. Or you can come check out my website, acidbathproductions.biz, and check out the website. So, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye. Bye-bye.